Hi guys, this is Sliver here and you're watching my shortened, more YouTube friendly guide on how to get Resplendent Spark in less than 3 hours by getting from here with a level 1 character to here with a level 99 character that has a fully completed reputation path with the cache that contains the Resplendent Spark unlocked. Let's start with what you will need for this build. First of all, you need several sets of gear, one level 1, one level 35, one level 55, and one level 80 plus set of gear for your rogue that includes the mythic unique Andariel Barrage and any other mythic unique that you can equip. If you want to farm these sets of gear, then you will need a appropriately leveled rogue and you will need to farm the Helltide. So for example, if I want my level 1 set, then I will go on a newly created rogue, open the chests in the Helltide and gather the rare items that I can later imprint with legendary affixes. As to which aspect you should imprint to each item, I will have a link down in the description to all the builds that we're going to use during this run, so you will know exactly which aspect to imprint into which item. These will change based on which set we're using and which build we're running through the run. So without further ado, let's go. We're going to create a new level 1 rogue on the seasonal realm on Word tier 2, and immediately after we enter the Word, we're going to complete the first part of the seasonal questline. The purpose of this is to unlock the reputation vendor in Zabrinzet, who we are going to buy the caches from later on in the run. While we are doing this questline, we're going to equip our level 1 set and we're going to assign our first talent points to get a Puncture build for this particular rogue. This is the part that you have to complete in order to unlock the vendor, and this is where we are going to stop doing the seasonal questline. So at this point we have our level 1 gear on with the correct imprints, and we also have our starting talent build, which is a Puncture and Flurry rogue with great mobility. Our damage mainly comes from the elemental damage that is tempered onto our weapons. Immediately we're going to do the first capstone dungeon that will let us enter the next Word tier. I've cut most of the footage, but this is how fast we can kill the boss of the first capstone dungeon with this build. Right after we completed the first capstone dungeon, we're going to assign our talent points. We're going to stay with this build so far. If you want the full build, then you will have it in the description. And we're going to immediately teleport out of this capstone dungeon. We're going to Kiovashad and we're going to increase the Word tier to Word tier 3. Once we are inside Word tier 3, we're going to equip our kitten, which will help us pick up things on the ground, including ether during the Infernal hordes. Well, you can pick up the kitty whenever you want, but this is the latest point to do it. Immediately after that, we're going to enter a tier 1 Infernal hordes event, and we're going to get to level 35 at this Infernal hordes event. You won't believe how fast the experience goes here. Obviously it will be a bit difficult because the monsters do a lot of damage, but fortunately when you're using this build you also do a lot of damage, so you won't have a problem damage wise. So less than 1 Infernal hordes run is sufficient to get you to level 35, and this is an important level because this is when you are able to equip your next set. Your next set involves Andariel Barrage. In case you didn't know, all the mythic uniques can be equipped at level 35 if they do not have a socket, and we will have a new weapon at this point and all the mythic uniques that we have. We're going to change our talent points at level 35 because we want to run a Andariel's Rogue with Barrage in our focus. So here at level 35 we changed our gear to our next set including the mythic uniques, and we also changed our talent points. Immediately after that we're going to enter the second capstone dungeon, which we're going to annihilate immediately. This is the boss of the second capstone dungeon, and this is how fast this boss melts with this build. Okay, so now we are level 35, a bit higher than that due to the capstone dungeon, and we've completed the second capstone dungeon. So now we can immediately go to the Giovashat statue and change the word tier to word tier 4. Once we are in word tier 4, we can do higher level Infernal hordes. So immediately we're going to start a tier 2 Infernal hordes, and we're going to run these tier 2 Infernal hordes all the way to level 55. Believe it or not, this only requires one single tier 2 Infernal hordes event, and after that you will be level 55. This is another important level because this is when you can equip your next set with ancestral legendary items. So once you reach level 55 and you feel like it is safe, then teleport back to town, spend your remaining talent points to the same Andariel Barrage build, and also take out the next level 55 gear from your stash. Now I haven't mentioned it so far, but we are running Rogue, so we can skip the Rogue side quest, and we are not running any specialization. We didn't unlock it, we're not going to unlock it, and we're not going to use it either. Also, this build is so fast that we do not need any glyphs, so we're not going to put our feet into nightmare dungeons because we do not need any glyph leveling at all. So once we have equipped our level 55 gear, we're immediately going into a tier 4 Infernal horde. We're also spending our Paragon points not to get glyphs, rather to get useful legendary nodes such as the one that is on the Eldritch Bounty board. In fact, we're only gonna be using 2 Paragon boards except for the starter one on this build. So after we're finished with assigning our Paragon points, we aim to run tier 4 Infernal hordes all the way to level 80. This will take a decent amount of time and a decent amount of Infernal hordes that you don't complete, you teleport out after the final wave. Once you reach level 80, then you can equip your level 80 gear. This is basically an endgame Andariel Barrage Rogue, and when you reach higher levels, particularly level 90, more items will become available to you. And once you reach level 90, you should have a full endgame gear of Andariel Barrage Rogue, and this will enable you to run tier 6 of the Infernal hordes. This tier 6 will let you get the most amount of reputation, and you will have to complete tier 6 Infernal hordes all the way until you get the maxed out level 20 reputation, which you will see me getting right here. Once you got the level 20 reputation, you can immediately teleport back to Zoprinzet and claim your rewards, including a lot of summoning materials and, most importantly, a Resplendent Spark. It took me around 3 hours, a little bit more than 3 hours to complete this run, and I strongly believe that it can be further optimized by putting the Paragon points in better spots, by having more optimized gear and build, and more importantly, having a better computer with shorter loading times, especially when not recording. If you found this guide useful or entertaining, then a sub to the channel would be mythic. And if you have any additions, any remarks, or any ways to optimize this route further, then feel free to leave a comment down below under the video. This has been Sliver, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.